Once upon a time, there was a boy made of paper. He couldn't talk, so he had trouble communicating with others, never managing to make any friends. The boy tried not to let his loneliness bother him much, instead distracting himself by reading books. He considered the books like close friends. They were made of paper like him, and they all told him stories. Some made him laugh, some made him cry, some took him on glorious adventures, and some made him think in new ways. The boy loved his books, but tired of each one quickly, since the words they contained would always stay put. There was only one story per book. Whenever the boy attempted to talk, words would appear in writing all over his face. He knew from this that he was different from the books because his stories swirled around, changing according to his will. The books were like lifeless versions of himself, he thought. And so he tried harder to make other friends. He went wherever people congregated, trying to casually make conversations. Unfortunately, since he couldn't make any sounds, it never worked. Nobody bothered to glance long enough at him to read his speech tattoos. One day, the paper boy met a real girl. He'd become desperate to break out of his world of written words and into the world they tried to describe. He attempted to talk to the girl, but words just appeared on his face as usual. He felt frustrated, convinced he'd never be able to get anybody to understand him. But the real girl glanced at his face, reading aloud what was written there. "I don't know how to speak, but I have things I need to say. I don't know why I can't do it. I don't know why I'm this way. Please, oh somebody listen, hear me out, I pray. I don't think I can live like this for even one more day." The girl giggled at the rhymes, even with their melancholy content. Nobody really talked like that, she thought to herself. Then she said, "Don't be upset about your condition. Everybody's different. Why, plenty of people speak all the time with nothing important to say at all. Your voice may be unique, but it sounds like you have some very interesting thoughts running through your head." The boy's face read out, "I always listen to everyone. Speech sounds marvelous to my ears, but through my life I've merely listened, or at least for a great many years. I've created innumerable poems, and though I can't say them out loud, I hope one day to publish a book, one that would please the crowd." The girl thought about this for a moment. "Well," she said, smiling, "I have just the solution for you. Poems already come with rhyme and rhythm. I don't know about making a book, but you could get somebody to sing what you write. You could even learn to play an instrument and accompany them." Music, the boy was stunned. How stupid was he? For years he'd longed to communicate and thought he could only do it if he spoke. But now he had another option. And music, he thought all over his face, is a language we all understand. To think it's been an option all along and I've never tried out for a band. Come, my lovely lady, come and give me your hand. The girl complied and he pulled her along, running to the music store. He bought some drums and trusting they'd make the most noise to cover his silence, then grabbed an ad for a band trial. When he arrived, the other musicians were confused. Luckily, the real girl had come along with him to explain. "He's only got written words, but I promise you'll be impressed. You just need to bring a singer to check out what he's got on his face." The band members weren't thrilled and considered kicking the newcomers out, but they did need a drummer and their own lyrics were admittedly underwhelming. The singer walked over to the paperboy, feeling uncomfortable staring at him. But as they started to play, their sounds were grand, and when the vocalist began singing, the musicians realized they had the best lyricist around. They played a few venues around town, and after one gig, someone from the audience approached and promised to get them a record deal. They accepted, becoming an international phenomenon, and the paperboy started writing songs for numerous artists, each one turning into a sensation. But of course, the real girl always came along with him to explain his unique situation to the new musicians, and because she loved to hear the songs he made. Even with his fame and talent, she was the only person who'd spend quality time with him. It was the only true friendship in the boy's life, and he cherished it greatly, since that's all he really wished for in the first place. One day, while they were talking together after a show, or rather while she was talking and he was writing, the boy posed a question. "I write all these songs and I like to do it, but there's something that'd be special for me. Would you sing something if I wrote it for you? I promise I'd make it for free." The real girl blushed and replied, "You've been hearing all of these professionals make your music. I can't compare with them. It'd be a waste of your creativity." The boy looked her right in the eyes, and on his face it said in big bold letters, "I don't want to hear you for your technical prowess. The thought is just absurd. I want you to sing the songs that I write, since only you understand the words. You don't just read what's on my face. I know you see inside. You know the deeper meaning, and for that you should feel pride. For most people talk without thinking, most sing just for the sound, but you, only you truly listen, and hear what's most profound. So please sing for me what I've written. It would mean nothing from any but you. I made all these songs with your voice in my mind. I swear that this is true. When I started, I just wished for a way to escape, a way to break the silence. But since learning speech can come without emotion, I've started to think on defiance. I don't want to make more beautiful songs for people who don't really care. I only wish to hear them from you, the only one who's aware." The girl was stunned. She hadn't been expecting this from the paperboy, but she did know how to sing, even if she wasn't highly confident about her abilities. Anyway, this was her closest friend. She cared deeply about him, and his request was quite simple. So she sang a bit for the paperboy. After a couple minutes, he grabbed her in a tight hug, cutting off the song. Their embrace ignited a passion inside the boy's chest, and his pages suddenly came alight. The girl jumped back in horror, unable to do anything but watch as her friend immolated. But when all the pages burned off, there in their place was a boy made of flesh and bone. He looked down stunned, then beamed up at the girl. He opened his mouth and finally said aloud the only thing he'd ever really wanted to. I love you.